Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna explain about the everyday English manner. The first one is walking in the public. If you are in the UK or Japan or some other country where driving on the left would be the norm, walk on the right. This helps you avoid the awkward dance you do with strangers when you cross paths, which can be really irritating if it's very crowded. Keep this in mind in urban areas that have shoulder-to-shoulder traffic at times. Also, do not stop in moving traffic. Again, think it's like driving. Pull over to the side. Additionally, do not ever stop at the top of stairs, especially in front of the metro. When it's very crowded, do not push. The person in front of you may have nowhere to go. And the second one is queuing. In the UK, wherever there is a mass of people, you will find orderly queue. British ethic dictates that when you arrive, you join the back of the queue so that each person receives the service in the order that they arrive. We wait our turn in queues. The notion of an orderly queues relies on everyone in the queue agreeing that this is fair. It is seen as unfair if someone doesn't join the queue and pushes in queuing. Queuing can seem very strange if you are not used to it. However, if you are seen to push in, it is considered very rude and unfair to other people who have been waiting. Even doubt asks, is this the back of the queue, to avoid offending anyone. A common British trait is that despite everybody in the queue being annoyed with someone who has pushed in, very few people will ask that person to go to the back of the queue. British people do not like to cause a scene by arguing, but likewise, we like people to know we are annoyed in subtle ways. Instead, people will shake their head, roll their eyes, or have an angry facial expression. They may also complain to the person next to them in the queue. And then the third one is a handshake. A good firm handshake is a common way to greet someone in a business or social situation. People might make assumptions about the base on your handshake, so it's important to get right. For example, if you offer a limp handshake, if it can give people the impression that you are disinterested and are not confident. To give a good handshake, first you have to firmly grasp the other person's hand, and second, get the pressure right. Do not crush the other person's hand, but equally do not offer a limp hand. And third one, check that your palms are not sweaty. Pat lightly and discreetly on your clothing before shaking someone's hand if needed. And the next one is keep it brief. Shake the hand just 2 or 3 times before letting go. And the last one, accompany the shake hand with direct eye contact and smile. And then the next is being demonstrative. Britain isn't particularly tactile country. Because of this, some cultures perceive British people as being completely unemotional, whilst others perceive as having a stiff upper lip. This refers to the fact that British people do have emotions. They're just very good at hiding them. When person's upper lip begins to tremble, it is one of the first signs that the person has experienced deep emotion. The stiff upper lip is an idiom to our ability to conceal our emotions and keep straight face. Whilst you may be hugged and kissed 2 or 3 times by total strangers in some European countries, it's unlikely that you will receive that same reception in the UK. Social kissing is becoming popular in Britain, but it is by no means an accepted norm. For example, it is rare for men to kiss in the UK. This is usually a gesture reserved for women. Kissing is not appropriate in many professional situations. If you are unsure, stick to a handshake. And then the next one is the PS, mind your PS and QS. Many people from outside the UK find it strange that UK people say please and thank you as much as they do. It is considered polite, well-mannered, and is a regularity of British speech. What may surprise you is when they are in the shop, restaurant, or anywhere that they are receiving customer service. They say thank you to the person serving us. Like example, when they give you change, the bill, or come to give you your food and drinks. In Britain, every social transaction is eased by reiteration of these praises from both parties. And then the next is apologizing. In the UK, people have the tendency to over-apologize. For example, if you tell someone about something unfortunate which has happened to you, it's quite likely that they will apologize. For example, I'm so sorry to hear that you have been unwell. British people cannot resist the urge to apologize. For example, if someone accidentally bumps into you, it will be common for you to apologize and say, I'm sorry, as that you are sorry for being in their way. If you have reserved a seat on a train but somebody is sat in it, it will be common to say, I'm sorry, but you appear to be sat in my seat. If somebody spills your coffee, again, it's quite normal for the victim to apologize. Of course, the person to blame would apologize as well, but apologizing as the victim is very English thing to do. And then the next one is discussing money. Unlike in most countries, discussing how much you earn or how much something costs, or anything from the cost of clothes up to the price of house, has traditionally been strictly taboo subject, according to the British ethic. Sometimes British people find it embarrassing to discuss money, and it can be seen as rude. If you are having a conversation with someone new, money and personal wealth are subject best avoided. Only discuss money if the other person has raised this, then you know they feel comfortable talking about it. Definitely do not ask somebody how much they earn. If you talk about how much you have and all of things you bought, it can be seen as bragging, particularly when it heightens the difference between your financial situation and that of the person you are talking to. However, things are changing and British people are more open to discussing things such as house prices or how much their holiday costs. But usually this is if the item they have bought is perceived as a bargain. For example, if they bought their house below market value because the seller wanted to a quick sell or got really good deal on their holiday package. And then next one is weather. Talking on the weather. In Britain, they love to talk about the weather. Perhaps it's due to the unpredictability of weather in the UK and their inability to prepare for extreme weather conditions. For example, the UK grants to a half if there is more than a few inches of snowfall. Talking about the weather serves as an icebreaker. When a British person meets a stranger, subject of discussion is weather. The function of the conversation is to initiate the contact between two individuals. The conversation will usually take a diversion once a shared common ground is discovered. By the weather in the UK provide us with a variety of topics as a starting point. And then the next one is small talk. In Britain, you shouldn't speak unless you are first spoken to. Absolutely. Don't touch, or that means no handshake, unless hands given to you first. and address the person by saying Your Majesty or Ma'am. In the other words, small talk with the Queen of England is difficult. Okay, so maybe you won't be chatting with the Queen of England, but there are some differences between American and British small talk. Although with globalization, these differences are becoming less and less of a problem. I love making a small talk with Americans. They are some of the easiest people to chat to in the world because, in general, Americans are always very friendly, will strike up a conversation almost immediately, and do most the chatting for your grade. So, for the next one is the tipping. Sometimes even the Brits find it difficult to know how much to tip a server in the cafes or restaurants, if anything at all. Following a meal, begin by checking the bill. If it's rich service not included, this means you can leave the tip for the person that served you, and the amount is at your discretion. If the service was good, it is customary to add an extra 10% on top of the bill total. Many Brits tip taxi drivers and hairdressers too, but the exact amount is the customer preference. And the next one, the bathroom manner. In the UK, there are many words which refer to the toilet. Loo, bathroom, and restroom are some of the most commonly used ones. Another word you may hear is lavatory, but this is quite an old-fashioned word. If you are in a public place, you may notice ladies and gents or male and female on the door to distinguish between toilets which are reserved for females and those reserved for males. There are very few communal sex toilets in the UK. If you need to use the toilet when you are in company, politely excuse yourself or slip away quietly. Remember, you must always flush the toilet and leave it clean. You may find using the toilet in the UK is a different experience from doing at home. And then the next one is table manners. The last one. So, in good manners at the dining table are very important in Britain. It is quite likely that you will find British table manners strange when you first arrive in the UK, and it will take you a while to get used to them. Here are some pointers to help you. First one, unless your house instruct you to start eating immediately, wait until everyone has been served their food until you start eating. Okay, and then the second one, if you are dining in a group and food is shared, put other needs before your own offer to serve food to your neighbor first, and do not take too much. Leave enough for others, and do not take more than you can eat. And the next one is, if you are right-handed, your knife should be held in your right and your fork should be in the left hand. And if you are the left-handed, it's becoming more acceptable to hold your knife and fork other way around. And next is cutlery should be rest on the sides of the plate between mouthful and together in the center when you are finished. And the last one, if you are staying with a homestay, you should wait until everyone has finished or you are told to leave the table. If you really need to leave, you can ask to leave the table. So that's all for the explanation of everyday English manner from me. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.